Illegal contact, defense number 57.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the New York Jets head coach.
There is no foul for pass interference.
Pass interference, defense number 33. Illegal contact, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Holding, number 24, defense.
Ever since Patrick Mahomes joined the NFL, there has been a ton of controversy about the refs helping out the Chiefs in big moments and throwing flags that cancel out Patrick Mahomes' interceptions. And over the past year, and especially the first 3 weeks of the 2024 NFL season, the conversation has grown immensely. I've seen tons of storylines, heard so many people talking about it, and a lot of graphics like these have popped up. This took me to do my own research, and I went through every single Patrick Mahomes game and found every single turnover that was overturned. I'm going to show you every single one and show you all the big moments where the Zebras changed the outcome of the game in the Chiefs' favor, and we're going to see, are people overanalyzing it, or is there favoritism towards Kansas City and the Chiefs, and graphics like these are real? Before I show you the film, let's look at the numbers. I went through every game from Mahomes' 6 full seasons and recorded all turnovers that were overturned by a penalty from either side of the ball to see if there was a large discrepancy between the Chiefs and their opponents with overturned calls. Starting with the 2018 NFL season, there were 4 turnovers overturned by a penalty for Kansas City's opponents and 1 for Kansas City. Before I move on, I do want to note that these are only penalties overturning turnovers, not challenges thrown by the head coach. And for the fumbles, they're any fumble by that quarterback's offense that was overturned by a penalty, not just fumbles from the quarterback. In 2019, there was an interception and a fumble called back from Kansas City's opponents, and 3 interceptions called back from Patrick Mahomes, a swing in the other direction. COVID year, there was 2 turnovers from the opponents and an upgrade to 5 interceptions overturned for Patrick Mahomes. In 2021, it's a tie, 3 for either side of the ball. 2022, there's 4 for opposing teams, 3 interceptions and a fumble, and 3 interceptions overturned for Patrick Mahomes. No team turnovers. Last season, 0 turnovers were overturned by a penalty for opposing teams, and 3 were for the Chiefs. And so far through 2024, there's only 1. Now for totals. Opposing teams had 11 interceptions overturned and 4 fumbles for 15 turnovers reversed. And for Patrick Mahomes, he threw 17 interceptions that were overturned, and 2 fumbles for his offense were overturned by penalties, for a total of 19. The difference is 4, which honestly isn't as crazy as some would think. I feel like I was expecting it to be higher. This could simply be explained by the Chiefs just having more offensive plays on average than their opponents. But the next step is to look at the film. Are these penalties blatantly the refs helping them out? Are these bad calls? Let's look at every single one and some more outstanding controversial calls from the past 2 years. But just from that, I counted 19. This has 29, and I counted 1 from this year, so 18. That's a difference of 11. That's a big deal. I wonder if this and other stat lines I've seen took into account challenges, or they took into account just any turnover that had a penalty, because there were some Kansas City fumbles recovered by Kansas City that had penalties, but there's nothing to look into if Kansas City recovered it anyway. Interception number 1, I'm going to keep a counter in the corner of the screen, whether it's a fair call or an unfair call. The first one is just blatant offsides. The free play, Mahomes just throws it up in the end zone and it's picked off. Number 2, Mahomes rolls out to his right and is intercepted in the red zone. Now you can see here on the left, the flag comes in after the interception, and a common misconception I feel like I hear a lot. People say the ref just throws the flag late just to reverse the call, which isn't true. They may see illegal contact, but they don't want to throw a flag. They're going to let him play. Unless there's an interception, then they're going to throw it. This is the only angle that the broadcast showed. It was pass interference, not on the targeted receiver. That's a pretty fortunate call, and it wasn't bad enough for the ref to throw it before the interception took place. I'm saying that's lucky. Next up, Mahomes is looking for Robinson in the end zone. Picked off. They go to commercial, come back and review the call. Since when do they review if there was pass interference on a play or not? It's also 24-0. The score doesn't matter. Looking back, it was pass interference, but since when do they review it? The Falcons would have loved to have this last week. We'll get into that later. But Mahomes getting assistance to review a play for a flag is blatant. The next one, it's offsides once again. Mahomes throws up a free play, intercepted. Overturned pick number 5, 4th and inches. Mahomes rolls out to his right and is intercepted in the end zone. This might be one of the worst ones. Yes, his arm is around him, but it's a weak pass interference call, and it doesn't affect the play at all. Now, I know that doesn't matter. Pass interference, even if it's not where the interception is, it's still called, but this is just extremely weak. For the 6th one, it's another offsides penalty. Mahomes knows it's a free play, hucks it up, intercepted. Against Tom Brady and the Bucs back-to-back now. Offsides, once again, free play, intercepted. Later in the game, Mahomes makes a bad decision, heaves it deep, picked off. It's roughing the passer because the defender hit Mahomes in the helmet. That's a weak call. The announcer said they're going to call it every time. You can't hit the quarterback in the head. But 90 was pushed into him a bit. Against the Saints, going for it all. Picked off. You can see the flag is thrown well before it's intercepted. Travis Kelce is held here. He's not the target. That's a fine call. The 10th one, another free play. Blatant offsides by the Packers. Intercepted. And the 11th one follows suit, making it 7 calls I think are fine, and 4 I'm not so sure about. The Chargers, Mahomes wants Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and it's picked off deep. He's held. It's blatant pass interference. He then throws down the DB after getting held though, so it could have gone either way, but I still think this is a fine call. Later in the game, Mahomes wants his man deep again, and there's definitely contact while he's jumping up to catch it. Pass interference. Last year against the Titans, he gets the D-line to jump, free play. Of course, he's picked off. I know these are all interceptions, but does Mahomes take advantage of free plays? Is Rodgers just the GOAT and nobody else does it? Then last season against the Jets, he's intercepted, and there's more to look at from this game. But first, Sauce Gardner, weak call on Marquez Valdes-Scantling. The flag is thrown way after the pick. I think that one is very bad and weak. And the second one from the 2023 season against the Broncos, intercepted deep. You can't hit someone when they're moving full speed like that. That's going to be called. Lastly, from this season, interception against the Bengals. You can see the flag is thrown before it's picked off. It is holding against Travis Kelce. It is fine. However, it is annoying because the ball wasn't thrown to Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce was celebrating after, like, bro, you've done nothing this season. So overall, I believe majority of Mahomes' overturned interceptions are fine. But let's get into the next segment. Week 4 of the 2023 season, Mahomes is taking on the Jets. They lose their star quarterback, but their defense is playing hard. It's a really physical game, and Mahomes is picked off twice in the first half. And late in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs are up by 3 with 6 minutes left. It's 3rd and long. Mahomes scrambles for a first down. Holding call brings it back. 3rd and 23. Next play, Mahomes scrambles for a first down once again, but there's blatant holding in the backfield on the Chiefs, but the refs don't call 2 holding calls in a row on Kansas City when Mahomes scrambles for a first down on 2 straight plays, so the Chiefs get let off the hook. Later in the drive, 3rd and 20, the Chiefs want to get a first down to run out the rest of the clock. Mahomes makes a desperation throw, and it's intercepted, but they call holding for a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down on Sauce Gardner. I know what I said about the flag being thrown after the interception earlier, and this was one of them, but this one to me looks like the refs were just trying to help Mahomes out. Again, it was a physical game. They weren't calling this on either side of the ball throughout the whole 55 minutes before this play took place. Even Chris Collinsworth was mentioning it during the broadcast. He said it was a bad call. A 3rd and 23, Mahomes scrambles for a first down, and there's no holding call. And then 3rd and 20, Mahomes throws an interception, and then the Chiefs get the holding call. It just doesn't make sense. Very next week against the Vikings, Chiefs are up by 7, 4:54 left. Kirko chains just outside the red zone. It's 4th down, game on the line, drops back, pressure's coming, heaves up into the end zone to Addison, who's being held blatantly. Flag is thrown. Oh, the Vikings fans are praising the Lord. They're about to get 1st and goal. They have all the time in the world. They're going to score this touchdown, get the momentum back.
There is no foul for pass interference.
Really?
The refs pick up the flag on the blatant pass interference. O'Connell says that Addison should have made it more obvious about moving. He's just being held in place. He can't move. The ref saw it. They throw the flag. The only 2 teams you see this happen for is the Chiefs and the Cowboys against the Lions. But wait, it gets worse. Snead takes off his helmet on the field, which is a flag, to go complain to the refs, saying, how is that a flag? How is that a hold? The ref goes to Snead and says, put your helmet back on. You're not allowed to do that. He puts his helmet back on. There's no call. When do you see the refs helping out a team? Like, you just don't see. If that's the Lions, if that's the Bears, instant flag. Y'all remember when DJ Moore caught a game-winning Hail Mary to tie, well, not game-tying Hail Mary. 6, ties the game up at 34. Right before he gets off the field, he takes off his helmet to celebrate. He just made the catch of the year, like barely on the field. The refs call a penalty. The extra point is farther. They lose in overtime. And then, of course, there's the Super Bowl. contact within 5 yards, so weak, barely affects Juju Smith-Schuster. Now I know it is a call, like the ref can make that, but just let him play at the end of the game, man. Just 2 weeks ago against the Bengals, everybody's freaking out about the end of the game. I believe this one to be fine. Now it looks bad after what happens the next week. They call the holding call on 4th and 6 when Rice puts them in the field goal range. We all know how the next play goes down. 4th and 16, pass interference, and it is pass interference. The DB's early. Rice would have caught that ball if he doesn't get slammed from the back. Obviously, it's really upsetting for Bengals fans, and some people will think it's rigged. It's PI, but you go to next week, week 3 against the Falcons, 5-point game, 4 minutes left. It's 3rd and 5 in the red zone. Kirk Cousins again drops back, throws in the end zone to Kyle Pitts. It's incomplete, but just blatant PI. At least they didn't throw the flag and pick it up this time, but you gotta throw it. I mean, at least last time they threw the flag. You got 2 people slamming them before the ball's even coming close to Kyle Pitts. Well, that was a bit of an overreaction. Only number 6 is hitting him, but he gets his arms around. He's tackling him before the ball's there. It's PI. You gotta call that. They go for it on 4th down. They lose the game because of that call. All the favoritism definitely reminds me of the attention and help Tom Brady got on his teams and his magical runs. Grady Jarrett here, Tom Brady's last year, I believe, sacks Tom Brady late in 4th quarter. It's 3rd and 5, pretty much a game-ending sack. And he gets called for roughing the passer, and Tom Brady even tries to kick him. The call's way late. Tom Brady doesn't get flagged for anything, and the Falcons lose that game because of that call. Now wrapping all this up. Do I think the NFL is rigged? No. It'd be impossible. There's no way all the players could keep that secret, and all of the coaches and everything. The NFL is not rigged. Do I believe there is favoritism for the Chiefs from the refs? Yes, I do, but not to the level that some people make it out to be. Like the interception headline, I saw that everywhere. Mahomes has had 40 interceptions reversed, 100, like I saw crazy numbers, like 80. Not true. You just gotta look into it. Overall, though, I thought the interception reverse, that was fine. A lot of them were just offsides. The Super Bowl hold, just don't hold them there. It is holding. Just don't risk it. There's no need to have that. I would have liked to see it not called, but I'm not going to complain. It was holding. Week 4 against the Jets, that was terrible. That was a physical game. They missed a ton of holding calls and kept calling them on the Jets. Week 5 against the Vikings last year, horrible. Snead, favoritism, not getting called for the helmet off and then picking up the flag. That's unbelievable. Week 2 against the Bengals this year, I thought it was fine. Interception called back, understandable. They called holding, and then they get PI to get the field goal. That's fine. Last week against the Falcons, terrible. You got to make that call in the end zone. It's right in front of your face. It's blatant, and they're not going to go review it like they did for the Chiefs in that one interception overturned I told you about. Yes, the Chiefs have some favoritism. It's getting a little bit out of hand, Yes, the Chiefs have some favoritism. Those 2 weeks last year and then last week against the Falcons, it's getting a little bit out of hand, but it's not too bad yet. I do believe that the Chiefs are the top dogs. They've been to 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls. They've won 3 of them. They're trying to three-peat right now after winning the last 2. Teams are going to play up. They want to beat the champs. I do enjoy having a team like the Chiefs around, like a top dog, a team that keeps winning. Because every week that they play, it's exciting to watch the team try to go beat the champs. And every team that plays the Chiefs, they're going to go out hard. They're going to go out hungry. No matter what the record is, they have a chance to beat the champs. And that's a win in itself. And I believe every team is going to play up. They're going to play better than they usually play because it's Patrick Mahomes, because it's Andy Reid, because it's that strong defense. And you're definitely going to see a lot of games that the Chiefs play this year come down to the wire because they're trying to three-peat, which has never been done before. Only 2 teams have won 2 in a row. So there's going to be a lot of overanalyzing, a lot of close games. Let's just hope there's no more horrible calls like there are in the Falcons, Jets, and Vikings games that we've all seen in those close games. I believe the Chiefs are going to be in a lot of close games, and there's going to be a lot of hard decisions for some of these referees, and hopefully they make the right and good call. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Right now, the Chiefs have some favoritism, and it's slowly getting out of hand, but hopefully that's it. I hope it ends. I really do.